Hola, this is Buddha Mav over here, and we are opening up season 2. And of course, we have a pretty lady in the building. We have a pretty lady in the dungeon. She's an MC. She's a radio presenter, TV presenter, influencer. She has a whole bag of things that she actually does. She's called Roch-LéBloem. And I think Roch-Lé, welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Cool. I think your name is so cool. It makes me think because I was back announcing Harry Styles. I'm like, some guys are just given names that turn them to superstars, like
Oh,
Christian
wow.
Dior,
Yes.
Saint Laurent, Roch-LéBloem.
I'll take that. I'm going to take that. I'll
Yeah.
remember that today. But thank you very much. It's French and I'm not even French.
What does it mean?
It means from the little rock.
From the Little Rock.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
fire.
what's from the little rock, but I feel like it's something special.
Nah, that's something special. That's cool stuff. So let's talk about where's Roche from in terms of like upbringing and like what similarities or differences does this Roche that we see right now being like a big presenter versus
Yeah.
you from your childhood?
So I'm born and bred Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha. Born and bred. I grew up in Sherwood. That was my hood, as they call it.
Yeah.
That was my hood, and I've always been someone that's just outspoken and loved talking. Always. I remember my mom telling me that I was probably 3 or 4, and I was just talking all the time. And someone actually said to her, "This one is going to talk for a living. That's for sure. This one's going to talk."
The signs were there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
the signs were there. And I say this story and I share this story all the time because it's a true story. I fell in love with radio and television from the age of 7. I knew I was going to be on radio and TV from that age. And I worked towards my goal from that age. And I used to pretend in my room. I was quite loved being on my own, but also loved having friends. So when I wanted me time, then my me time would be my me time. And I would play around with my radio and my cassettes. For the young people, that's
You're
just
revealing
Google
your
it.
age,
Just
Rosh.
Google
Yeah,
cassettes.
cassettes,
It's fine.
yeah.
Google cassettes. It's okay. But we would just be always fascinated with just music stuff, especially in our household. We love music. So I would play around with my dad's cassettes, and I actually got into trouble for this. I recorded myself over his cassettes, pretending to be a presenter.
That's fire. That's
And how he
fire.
found out, he gave one of his cassettes to a friend of his, and then he called and he was like, "James, this is not the cassette, but tell your daughter she's going to go really far in radio one day."
Nah, that's fire.
And
That's
I would
cute.
read out of a
Yeah.
magazine and pretend to be this presenter, talking about all the gossip, the celeb gossip and everything. And that's when I fell in love with it, and just talking to people, communicating, emceeing. I mean, I think I started emceeing at the age of 15, 16. I started doing like high teas for old age homes, and those little things. And I'll be like, you need an MC. It's fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. They didn't pay me because I was a kid, but I did it because that's something that I enjoyed. So I love the stage, studied drama at school. That's one of my subjects. So everything that I've done from my childhood up until this point, there is a reason why I did everything. There's a reason why I studied
it
the
was building
degrees
up
that
to
I
something
yes
that
that I
you're doing right
studied.
now.
There's a reason why I started in community radio and then eventually got poached to commercial. Everything that I do, there's always a plan behind it. That's something that I believe in. I paper trail everything, I plan everything. I'm big on organizing, which can be a con at the same time because then you're like, when are you going to live a little? So I do try to find the balance. And 2020 fix is going to be my way of finding the balance.
Oh, that's
what
fire.
I'm gonna be
2020
doing.
fix.
Yeah, I'll be finding the balance a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, that is basically it. I fell in love with it since the age of 7. I've obviously studied at university, did media communications and culture. That was my
I
first
think
degree.
we'll get to some of
Yeah.
that stuff,
So-
but I firstly want us to play a game, right?
Oh
Just
my
as an
gosh.
icebreaker. This one's very simple, not
I thought you broke
controversial.
the ice already.
No. We need to break another one.
Okay,
So,
I love me some ice.
So I'm gonna make you choose between 2 people, right?
2 people.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
just gonna say 2 things, and you have to pick one, and you have to pick. There's no other way, but you have to pick.
Okay,
So first one, J-Lo or Khloe Kardashian?
J-Lo,
Radio or TV?
radio.
47 or JM?
That's very difficult. Both of them. I can't.
Nah,
you
you got
can't.
to choose one.
I can't choose. I can't. It's very difficult. The
Why
late
can't you choose?
4-7 was just absolutely amazing in his time when he was here. So may his soul rest in peace. And JM is just
They're doing
fantastic. They are
amazing
just
stuff.
absolutely fantastic. They give me goosebumps every time I listen to them. So I support 4-7 and JM.
Okay, you're a
100%.
Gleb's hound for real. You're like, nah.
Glebs.
I'm picking all my people. It's
Picking my
fine.
people.
Top billing or YoTv?
YoTv. I love YoTv. I loved
Yeah,
YoTV.
we all did. I think
Yeah.
all of us presenters wanted to be
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
on
And
YoTv.
funny enough, fun fact, one of the presenters from YoTV, Carly, actually works with me.
That's fire.
Yeah, she works at Algoa FM as well. So it's really awesome.
And top billing, you didn't want to go to top billing?
I actually liked Top Billing. I enjoyed it. I think it was, I loved watching it and seeing what they did. But YoTV, I'm a millennial. I'm going to choose YoTV.
YoTv for sure. Favorite presenter, of course. Please don't pick Kali. Outside of Kali
Favorite presenter?
from YoTv.
From YoTV. Oh, okay. Obviously can't pick Carly now, like you said, but definitely love Sade. She was really,
Sade Gilbert.
yeah,
She's
she
a
was
legend,
really
yeah.
awesome. She was
Yeah.
really awesome. I liked her.
Okay, cool stuff. We also have Micasa or Liquideep.
Oh, why are you giving me such difficult questions?
No, we need difficult ones so you can pick a better option. Well, there's no better option here. It's just
Oh.
preference.
I listened to both of them, love Micasa, interviewed them a couple of times. So because I love Micasa, but I also love Liquideep, and my love for music, that type of music, I will go with Liquideep.
Ooh, Rush is such a wordsmith. She moved her way to answering this one. Okay, that's why
But
we
I mean,
get to the
Micasa, you know I
presenters.
love you, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, cool. One last one. Outside broadcast or in studio presenting?
Ooh, that's so challenging. I love both of them. Love that I have control when I'm in studio. But I love meeting new people. So outside broadcast, I'll go with that.
Because it's very spontaneous and
Yes, it's different.
moments
You
are
you
there.
never know what's going to happen. So I have a lot of control in studio. So I think let's go with outside broadcast.
Okay, that's fire. That's fire. That's a clean pick. In terms of radio and doing like being in the media essentially, did you always this started I'm assuming as a hobby or something that you loved. Did you have a plan for it and how you were gonna make money from it from a young age?
Yeah, I did. Spoke to my mom and dad about it. My parents are very involved, have always been very involved. And they said, if you want to do this presenting thing, then you need to have a backup plan or have a plan. And you need to study. You have to have an education. So mom and I went to NMMU. Back in the day, it was NMMU with all the M's.
Yeah, well-
And now NMU. And we found this degree called BA Media Communications and Culture. I think it was just in at that time, or I don't know what, but then we found the information that I needed, picked the certain subjects that I needed when I was in grade 10 already. So we got this information grade 9, grade 10 already. That's how we were planning. And I feel that's so important. Parents need to do that. Plan, speak to your kids, make sure that you have everything in place. So I studied that, and then I did my honors in broadcast journalism. And now, currently, I'm doing my master's in media studies. So that is my backup plan. That's my backup plan. And I always knew I was going to make money out of it. Fun fact, though, I did not make money out of radio when I started. When I worked in community radio for about 4.5 to 5 years, I worked for free. It's voluntary work. They never
5
paid
years.
me. 5 years, they never paid me. And that, for me...
So where's this? Can we give him a shout?
BayFM. I
Oh,
work for
BayFM, yeah.
BayFM. Yes, I work for BayFM. And I feel like it's important for every presenter to start either at campus radio or community radio. You have to find your feet first. You have to find what you're good at. Find your niche in this industry. Radio, it has so many facets to it. Some people are really good at compiling music. Stick to that. Maybe you're not really great at presenting. Don't do that. Maybe you're great at producing, content producing. Do that. So community radio teaches you so many different things. I mean, I found out that I'm really good at reading the news as well. So I had that skill when I was poached and I went to Algoa FM. They're like, Rush, did you read the news? I'm like, yes, I actually read the news at BayFM. Okay, cool. We're actually going to need you to read the news while you do the drive show as well with Roland. And then I did that. I was reading news. I was presenting at the same time. I became an asset to that company. I'm still an asset to that company. So community radio, campus radio, online radio, especially campus and community, go and learn every single part of radio so that you become an asset in a company, whether it's commercial or national.
That's fire.
You have to do that.
Just to go back a little, because you went to NMU, well, NMMU back
At the
then.
day, yeah, back in the day.
So at the time, because I'm trying to figure out, of course, you've learned the media and communication there. What else did you learn outside of what you know as a skill? Just like a personal thing that you use right now at this current moment in your life.
Okay. So like everything that I've done, that's a lot.
No. I'm just like key things that you carry with that you've learned from there.
From
Being a
from
student,
from
like from being a
student.
student, yes.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, when I was a student, I was actually working at BayFM at the time. I was working at BayTV at the time.
Were you at Reyes or were you at home?
No, I was at home. And so I was studying, working at Virgin Active. I was also working with Virgin Active in the mornings, and then I was working at Bay FM in the afternoons because I was doing their lunch show. Before that, I did the breakfast, but nevertheless, and then
You were always ready
BayTV,
for show business.
and then
3 jobs.
BayTV in the afternoons, and that taught me time management. That taught me time management, gave me a very interesting skill, and I'm a hustler because of that. I know what it feels like to work hard for what I have today. And I'm not shy to work. I'm going to work. Didn't need to work. My parents were like, no, you don't have to do this. Focus on your studies. And I was like, no, I want to do this so that I can learn. So that's one skill that I've picked up. And I think always ask questions. It's very important always to ask questions. Don't be shy because everybody's learning. Every day you learn something new. So if you want to know something, ask the question because there's an expert in that field somewhere. So ask them so that you can learn. That's important. Everybody's chat GPTing today, but there are many experts that have studied for 30 years, they've been in the industries for that long as well. Ask them the relevant questions so that you can really know what's up.
So at the time, which one comes first, Bay TV or Bay FM?
At the time.
Yes. Just
Meaning?
tracing back in terms of you deciding, is it TV or is it radio?
Oh, I started at BayFM first.
You started
And
at
then I
BayFM.
went to BayTV. Look, I will always love TV. I had my show for 6 years, So Fab with Roch. I did that TV show for a long time. It was a woman's lifestyle show. Loved it. COVID made us stop. So it was sad that the pandemic happened. But radio will always be my first love. Radio makes me feel alive. That's what it does.
That's what
it
it
makes
does.
me feel like I can make a difference. So that's why I choose radio over TV.
I think you guys were like super cool then, like the Tiffs and the Louvoyos, like, because it was the first thing like that sort of like emulated what YoTv was, having like sort of like
Yes.
childhood stars
Childhood
around
stars.
there, and I was like, oh, okay.
Because of that, I have fans in Kenya. So I love that. I love that.
That's
yeah.
fire.
They listen to my radio show now. So my TV viewers, I would say, are now also my listeners. And there's a lot of people that have followed me from my Bay FM days to my Algoa FM days. And I'm so blessed because they watched me grow. And that means a lot to me. So I have listeners that have been with me since I was 19, 20, because that's when I started in radio.
So like the transition, because of course now you're in the media space and you're like a public figure. Did you have any signs? Because I'm trying to think, maybe high school or primary school, were you always like the center of attention, or was it like a new thing when you started going into the industry?
I wouldn't say center of attention, but they knew I was going to talk. They knew I was going to say something.
So
And then,
Toastmasters, everything.
oh, yes, I did
you there.
Toastmasters. I was in the drama productions. I was in choir. I was the only one that had EP colors for choir next to the rugby players that had EP colors.
Let's
So
go,
that
let's
was
go, yeah.
that was always funny because you'd have the EP colors on the blazer, and these rugby players are big, they're standing next to me, and I'm like, "Hi, what's up?" And then
up, bro?
you'd be like, "So what do you have colors for?" I'm like, "Choir." That's what's
That's
up,
fine,
man.
yeah.
I have choir. It's choir. That's
choir.
a sport. That must be something. So yes, I was always singing. I played a musical instrument. I played the silver flute. So I was in the bands, the orchestras. So in anything cultural, you would find Roch there. Always.
Were you always able to manage between the two? Because of course, even right now, you're still managing school with your art.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And like I said, it's that what I did when I was working the 3 different jobs and studying at the same time. Doing that has taught me to be able to manage all of this now. So I'm like, oh, it's fine. I can do it. I can balance it.
So I want to take us through the day where you either having the email or the call to say, we've been seeing your work at community level. Now it's time to come and play with the
Oh,
big guns on the
that was
commercial
special.
level.
That was
Please take us
really,
through that.
yeah, that was really awesome. So I received, let me go back first to meeting the now CEO. He was our managing director at the time. He's now the CEO, Dave Tiltman of the AME group, which Algoa FM falls under. I interviewed him on my TV show for the Algoa FM Big Walk for Cancer. They had their launch and they invited BayTV, now Mpumakapa, but they invited BayTV and they said, Roch, you're going to go because it fits with lifestyle and you're going to interview the managing director and you're going to ask him relevant questions about the launch. Cool, no problem. And we sit down, we have an interview like this. And after the interview, he says to me, so why are you not working for me? And I said, you never called. And he was like, I like you. I like you. Give me your number. And he took my number, my name, all my details, and he actually gave it to the program manager at the time. And I don't know what happened. I think he might have lost the number or something happened. I get a DM on Instagram. Hi there. This is the program manager of Algoa FM. I've been trying to get hold of you and try and find your number. We have a spot open and we need to chat to you about it. And I'm like, this is a prank. First of all, this is not real. It can't be. So I did my research and then I responded. So that's why maybe it is important to respond to DMs. But nevertheless, I responded to the
Work-related DMs.
Work-related DMs. And then I responded to the DM and I said, sure, no problem. Here's my cell phone number. And then he contacted me. It happened so fast. It was so quickly. Everything just happened. It was crazy. I think he spoke to me like the weekend or something. And then the Monday or the Wednesday was the interview, like the job interview. And then he was like, let's meet at the boardwalk. Because at the time, Algoa FM was at the boardwalk. And then I met with a programming manager and then the ops manager, who is now our managing director, Alfie J. Love Alfie J. We were there.
Shout out to Alfie.
Shout out to Alfie. And we were chatting away and then did the whole interview, asked me the questions that I needed. And that was it. And that they needed. And then as I was walking out, they walked out the other way. I get a message from the program manager. Okay, so he really likes you. You're going to start really soon. So start packing your stuff up at BayFM. And then that was it. And then I started the following Monday. Went into training.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
was
so the
crazy.
Friday, I think the interview was the Wednesday or the Monday, something like that. And then the Friday, I had to say goodbye to them, to BayFM. And say, this is my last day.
Your last day.
And then the Monday I started.
What show do you do when you get to Algoa?
So I did some training first. And then I think a month after that or a few weeks after that, I started on Saturday lunch. I did 12 to 3. That was my first show.
That's crazy. Because for people to think about it, you say Saturday when?
Primetime Saturday
Prime
lunch.
time, lunch.
Lunch. 12 to 3, yeah.
Because normally when you get to commercial from campus or community,
You start at the bottom.
At the bottom,
Yeah.
like late night
Yeah.
hours when people are sleeping, And
No,
you
they were
started-
like, she's good. Let's put her on. 12 to 3. Done. And I started 12 to 3. Then they moved me from 12 to 3 to full time. Did drive show. 3 to 7 with Roland Gaspar. And then I was really...
Wait, Roch.
Yeah, so that's...
It's moving too fast. Or maybe your career was moving too fast.
It
I'm
was
not sure.
crazy, bro. It was
'Cause I'm trying to
crazy.
think, how long did you stay for the Saturday lunchtime show?
I think it must have been 2 years or 3 years. 3 years.
fire.
Then they moved me over to drive show. Then I was doing Sunday breakfast while drive show. So Monday to Friday drive show, Sunday breakfast. Then they moved me back to Saturday lunch.
So wait. Also,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want
been
us
crazy.
to miss parts because you
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
how is the invoicing now? Because of course, it's like you were doing Saturdays, now you're working from Monday to Friday and the Sunday. Was
Yeah.
that mind-blowing to start seeing that amount of money at that age?
Yeah. It was really good. It
Okay,
was
but
really
you
good.
can carry on.
Yeah,
from-
no, it was really, really good. But in between, I get mixed up with all the years because this year is going to be my 8th year with Algoa FM. So a lot has happened in the 8 years.
8 years,
But
yeah.
what I can say is that it's been consistent with having worked 6 days a week. So I've always worked 6 days a week. It's only now recently last year that I've decided, middle last year, I said I would like to give up weekends and only do Monday to Friday. And that was for my family, to give more time to my family, my studies. Masters is no joke. I'm sure there's many students that know that. And I just needed time for myself to just always be ready for things like this. You know, to always
business,
be
baby.
open
Yeah.
to do things like this, because I always had to cancel, always had to say no to weddings, birthday parties, baby showers, everything I've missed in that 8 years, you know. So I'm open now to do more things on the weekend that also makes me happy and sparks joy for me. So yeah.
What was the transition like coming from the weekends? Because of course you an anchor, you a person
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you
Sorry.
drive the show. So when you get to drive now, how do you guys figure out the motion, how to move along? Because of course you have the person driving the show at the time, and then there's you coming into the show. Do you start as a contributor and then you move into a co-host, or do you start as a co-host and then you guys figure
So
out?
when I was on Drive Show, I was full on co-host. Roland and I worked amazing together. That has been the best team that I've ever been a part of. Like in my whole career, that is my favorite, because he understood me and he allowed me to shine. There was no power struggle. He was like, I'm good at this, you good at this. This is my weaknesses, that's your weaknesses. So we're going to work on that, and we're just going to make sure that we're both strong all the time. And that's why today we are still friends and we speak every day. So it is important to create a friendship, great chemistry with your co-host, and know that there shouldn't be a power struggle. You are good at certain things. You have your own strengths. That person has their own strengths. So I was full on contributor to the show. There was no struggle at all.
So you think the remedy is to have a situation where you get to know the person outside of, because on campus level,
Yes.
the reason why I'm asking that, on
Yes.
campus level, it used to go down where someone, especially if you were driving the show, I'll let you speak, but I'll bring it back to me. I do the link, then I close off the link. Because of course, as a person that's listening quite closely, you can hear there's a power struggle, and people are trying to outshine each other.
No,
Right, so-
you need to have if you want to have a successful team, you need to have a relationship outside of the studio. You need to be able to be friends. You need to be able to get along and
cool.
have a connection. You have to have a connection with that person, because there will always be a struggle. You need to somehow put your differences aside and make it work, and communicate all the time. Talk about it. Say, look, I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that you made me feel in that link. I don't like that. Can we not do that again? Okay, cool. Sure, no problem. I won't do that again. It's about communicating and setting your boundaries as well. It's important.
So when you get to drive at the time, there was a producer, or was it
No,
you guys had to produce? Yeah.
Roland drove the show. He produced and drove the show.
drove
I
the show as
produced it. I assisted in producing with content on all the admin side, because drive shows are busy. So I made sure that everything was running smoothly. And that's also another key to making sure that a team works, is that you split the duties up, and you also allow each other to shine in those things. Like Roland, you said to me, my weakness is admin. I don't really like admin that much. So would you like to handle that? Sure, that's my strength. I can do that. So he handled getting audio and outsourcing certain things and editing certain things for us. So he did that while I was doing the others. But now that I'm on my own, I'm doing everything. So I'm glad that we
to
taught each
learn,
other
yeah.
a lot of stuff as well. So yeah, when you're on your own, you have to do everything.
Yeah, I've shadowed for during my years on campus radio. I shadowed for a couple of people. I even did more flavor than 9 to 12 when he just
lovely.
moved in.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I'm like, commercially is crazy. Because of course, coming from campus-less community, we don't have a lot of ads unless there's stuff happening on campus.
There's
They
a lot of ads.
And when I got there, I'm like, live reads is a stack like this. Ads are just going through and through. I'm like, how does he handle this? You do your link now. Like, how do you prep for that? Do you get there with your stack of live reads?
Everything's on the intranet. So everything is on our intranet site. and you have to log in with your details. So it's always good to be at least 30 minutes before the time in studio, and then you just log on and you get all your live reads ready. Make sure everything is set out. You go through them as well. Please, if you're in radio, read your live reads before the time. You don't want to go on there and then, stumble and fumble and your mispronunciation is no. Can we do this properly? Because live reads are money and they pay for those live reads. So make sure everything is set out. And if you prepare for your show and you know what's happening on your show, then you don't need to be overwhelmed and flustered. You need to be prepared at all times. Right? Live radio is no joke. Commercial radio is no joke. You just have to be prepared. Always.
You just have to be prepared.
Yes,
and I'm
for
thinking,
anything.
Drive moves too quick. Like I've once, because when I was there, I did a hip hop show at night, and then I had to do stand-ins for like drive.
Yes, that's
I did
so
not know
cool.
how hectic that was. I'm like, it's time for traffic.
Dum 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 dum. Yeah.
Desk up. You open up. Someone speaks. You come back. Ads here and there. Now we have the caller. I'm like, okay, this is quite hectic.
There's a lot of elements to it, but once you need to be comfortable within yourself, and you need to also remember, this is like I've told myself this for many, many years. I think I heard it from a mentor back in the day when I started. But nobody knows what you're going to say next. So why are you nervous? Like nobody knows what you're going to say. Do they have your script in front of them? Do they have your prep in front of them? They don't. Even with MC work, people do not have the program in front of them. And if they do they know what you're going to say about that program? Do they know how you're going to direct it? How you're going to do things on stage? For anything that you do, anything public speaking, people do not have your script. People do not have what you're going to say. So just be calm. Just relax.
A lot of things changed, Roch, for COVID. There was like a reset or a reconfiguration for mostly creatives as well, in terms of how things started panning out. Did you have a shift in how you were moving in terms of your life and how you approached life meets work at the particular time? Did it affect you quite
I think it
permanently,
did.
or
Not permanently, but the pandemic definitely affected many of the presenters at all radio presenters, all TV presenters, anyone working in the media. We were faced with death every day. We saw death every day because with us, we had to go into work and work. I was working. I had to walk around with I call it a dompas, but I had to walk around with this thing saying, this is my media pass, and travel with that. And I had to go to work every single day. And do
what
my
were
show.
those called again? Essential workers
It was
at the time?
It was some pass. I don't know what it was, but
the
essential workers had to
yeah.
have that. And it was a ghost town, driving and seeing nobody on the roads. And then you get to work and people are just emotional. Like the listeners are emotional, sharing their stories of their loved ones dying. Their loved ones have just passed away. And we were faced with that. And even in the news, listening to the news, reading the news, you were faced with death all the time. And that has a negative effect on anyone. So at some point, all of us had to just find a way to heal from that and to not be insensitive or whatever, but we just had to walk away from that space that we were in and just find something positive. We had to find something positive out of that time, and we were just happy to be alive and still do what we love.
What we love as well. You have a feature called Ask Roch.
Yes.
So
Love Ask Roch.
I have two questions for you.
Okay.
What is that one wildest question that someone has posed for you? Even though you screened it, you're like, nope, this one's not going on air.
Okay.
And then the second part is, were you always the person that your friends or like people around you always ask you for advice?
Funny enough, yes. Yes, they always ask me for advice, or they're like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I don't know if it's written on my face, but my friends and family they just always want to tell me what they're going through, and they share. And I think I'm open to that because I'm a good listener. As much as I'm a good communicator, I'm also a very good listener and very understanding. And the wildest question that I received for Ask Roch, because obviously it's anonymous, wildest question, this guy says to me, it's two brothers, okay? One girl. You can now imagine. Two brothers,
I
one
can
woman.
already hear, yeah.
And he said that his brother's dating his ex-girlfriend, but his brother doesn't know that it's his ex. His brother doesn't know this. But they started dating, but he wants the girl back. So how does he not hurt his brother's feelings and ruin his relationship with his brother because he wants his girl back? He doesn't really care about the fact that his brother had his girl,
Yeah.
but he just wants his girl back. But he doesn't want to ruin his relationship with his brother. And everyone and the listeners were like, yeah, but doesn't this girl know that she's been seeing two brothers?
That was my next question.
Yeah,
Is like, yeah.
no, she apparently didn't know. So I don't know how she did not know that they were brothers, but he wants his girl back. And I don't know if he ever got his girl back. If he did, well done, man. Good on you. But I don't
Listen to
know.
Roch, she's saying well done. No,
I don't know.
she's passed now. You let your brother
But
have it.
I'll be honest. When I read that question, I was like, I think he should just walk away. I mean, once her brother has had her, then I don't know if they will be able to have a conversation.
I
Like
think
all
for
three of
me-
them.
I think for me, it's like my brother. Let's both leave her.
Yes.
let it be a fair thing. Let's
Yeah.
Let's not
But yeah,
have
that
it.
was the wildest question. The two brothers and the one female, and he wants his girl back. That was crazy for me. And there's also some others that are quite intense that I can't always talk about. But yeah, if you ever have a question, please send it through to me. You can inbox me.
But it's the internet. This one. Can we share one more?
Okay. No, I don't actually have any other crazy ones that I can share. I think that was the wildest one.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
relationship questions are intense. There's some intense relationship questions that come in. So yeah, I just try and help where I can.
I think at some point in my life, a lot of people around me, they also used to ask me for advice. But the only difference is, of course, and I made this analogy like a Pep Guardiola is a coach, right? Incredible coach, the best in the world. He was once a footballer. He wasn't really that good on the pitch. So when I give out advice, especially maybe in relationships or whatever, to my friends, it's like, my brother, don't look at how I play and how I engage in things. Just take the advice. The advice is
Yeah.
top tier, but how I
Do it.
it doesn't necessarily match to that. So were you
Yeah.
that person, or did you always match the energy when it comes to like your advice? You like a person that matches their energy in terms of, I do this, that's why I'm giving you advice.
I think maybe half and half on that. Like with relationships, I think people do come to me because I've always been a long-term relationship person. Like with my husband now, we're together 15 years now. Like first university boyfriend.
That's fine.
First year, so it's a long time, and then we're gonna be married 5 years this year. So I'm a long-term relationship person. That's why I can give relationship advice. Like I know about relationships, so it's okay.
Hey, since you are
You get what
here,
I'm saying?
let's ask a question for advice. Maybe my things will work out quite well.
let me take my glasses off with this.
Because we've had this
Let's
conversation
see.
before, even with Q. So if you don't find one in varsity, like for instance, I'm way over varsity. I'm almost in I can't reveal my age, but
Yeah.
I'm not too far from your age because I remember the NMMU days.
Yes.
Is there still a possibility I can find the one? Because a lot of people that have these long-term relationships, it's either some of them like come from high school, some are like early varsity or
Yeah.
mid-varsity. After that, it becomes a very difficult thing to be in the market.
I think you can and will find the one, but my advice always, hope you love yourself first before you share any love. You need to love yourself completely before you can share love and give love to anyone else and be in a relationship. So I also believe that when you're not looking, then that person just comes out of nowhere. Because I wasn't looking. And out of nowhere, my husband just popped out of nowhere. Like literally, he was at North Campus, I was at South Campus, and then he was at South Campus. It just popped out of nowhere and saw him.
How
He
did
saw
it happen?
me.
Did you guys bump into each other and drop books? And then you guys
No,
made eye contact?
No, apparently he saw me and then he asked somebody for my name and then he added me on Facebook and then he poked me on Facebook. You know, they had the poke button.
Oh, the poke thing. Yeah,
He
that was fire. Yeah.
He poked me on Facebook and then I was like, okay, I'll poke you back. And then that's how it started. And then he asked me for my Mixit contact back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
iconic. What was your mixed name?
Butterfly Queen.
Butterfly Queen. Let's go. Let's go, yeah. What was
Butterfly.
his name? Mix it.
Oh, I actually can't remember. I
No, no,
need to
no.
ask him. We need to call him and ask him because I can't remember. I really can't
King
remember.
player, was he not?
No, he wasn't. I don't think he had any player in him. He didn't
Yeah.
have any player, but
Sure.
yeah, no, he added me on Mixer, but he worked fast, eh?
Mm-hmm.
He worked really fast. I don't know why he worked that fast, but he added me on Facebook. We had the date, like our first date,
Mm.
the Friday or something, or we saw each other the Wednesday at campus and then playing pool together, and then he asked me out on another date, and then the date happened. And then he asked me out on the beach the Saturday. He was like, "Would you like to be my girlfriend?" Just like that.
The big dogs.
And my birthday was the
big dogs,
Sunday.
yeah.
My birthday was the Sunday. So he was like just killing the game. He was killing the game. So all I'm saying is, out of nowhere, that person will just pop out of nowhere, and you would just fall in love, and that person will be the one. So don't be afraid.
I'm thinking because we as guys have to sort of like do the approach. Or
Hmm.
maybe, guys, I'll say it out there. You must find me. So
Yeah.
they must just find me. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
No, but your lady will come.
Yeah. No, that was jokes. The
Yeah.
one will come.
The one will come.
I don't want to get in
And when
trouble.
you're ready.
Yeah.
And when you're ready.
I'm ready now, Roch. I'll get married next year. But anyway, moving along. I think now, did you audition for the top billing thingy?
So with Top Billing, I remember they had the whole Top Billing, and I don't know, there was another show there as well, but I think it wasn't Espresso and Top Billing?
Afternoon Express and then the Expresso.
Something like that, yeah. So funny enough, that was so weird. They called Algoa FM to ask me to come and do a mock audition. It was a media collaboration. So that's what we did. So I did a mock audition. I was on TV, did a couple of interviews, and then did the audition. But I was never going to be picked because it was a collab.
No,
Yeah, it was a
like,
collab.
you're not gonna go.
Yeah, you're
anyway.
not take my girl. You're gonna leave her here, but we can let her go and do your thing and show off a little bit her skills. But no, I was never going to be picked. It was, I think, myself and another lady from True FM. I think it was True FM. It was another, but I know it was another radio station, another radio presenter that also had to come and just show off her skills a little bit on TV. It was cool. We were never going to be picked, but we did it for fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
As far as social media is concerned, because I see you're quite active and you do
Yeah.
some influencing work, was it something that you had to learn along the way, or was it something you picked up very early, like because of you coming from a traditional media platform?
Yeah, very early on. So when Instagram just came out, you know, Facebook was obviously there for a while, but when Instagram came out, I was first on Instagram. You know, I was one of those people that started posting a lot about my radio stuff, getting videos out there, started dancing in the studio to my favorite artists and tagging them. And I learned how to do that. And gosh, it was pixelated, it was terrible. You know, cameras back in there, it was horrible.
They were
But
horrendous use.
I'm so glad that I started doing that because that's how I started making connections with artists like DJ Ganyani and the Mogul SA. And those types of artists, started connecting with them because I tagged them in a song that I was, you know, dancing to in the studio. And I feel like that's so important, just to connect with people in your industry, entertainment, by getting on social media and showing what you're doing behind the scenes. So that's how I started doing it. Started getting my name out there, started getting connections. So like, hey, we are actually coming to GQ. Well, at the time it was PE. We're coming to PE for a gig. Can we come in for an interview? I'm like, yeah, cool, no problem. I'll chat to my programs manager about it, because I tagged them in this video that I was dancing to in the
dancing to their
studio.
songs, that's fine.
So social media was always there, and I used it in the good way, in the right way, positive way, to create connections and engage in conversation with people in the same industry. So it was an easy thing, but now it's become very difficult because everything has to be on social media now. Your whole life has to be there if you're a public figure. And I made the decision not to share a lot about my private life because it's mine. It's sacred to me. So I share what I can share. And now with obviously commercial radio, have to be always careful because, for example, I can't just share anything with any brand.
You don't want to put the company in disrepute.
Exactly. I have to be very careful who posts about me, what's posted, where I am. Can't be drinking and going crazy. You know, you have to think about the brand, your brand, and the brand you're working for at all times. Always.
How how long does it take you being existing on social media to finally get influencing gigs and stuff for you to start promoting for your social media?
Just start already. Start right away. Don't wait for the followers. Just get your content out there. Just post, 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 post. Get it out there. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I know the youngsters don't do Facebook, but people like Facebook Reels. Okay, they really like Facebook Reels. So most of my views on social media is from TikTok and Facebook. Like really, I got a lot of views on Facebook. So go and post your stuff, get it out there, and then let people start engaging in your content by just posting. You have to start somewhere. You can't wait for the 100,000 followers for you to start posting. You can't.
No, I was specifically asking you in terms of influencing campaign.
Oh, campaigns, yeah,
like when did
start.
you get like your first campaign to start working with?
Very first campaign.
Yes. Or maybe one that's like you can remember.
Well, I've been with my beauty, the people that do all my beauty stuff for me. I've been with them for 10 years. So 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that was my first campaign. Paid campaigns, that actually started when I worked at Algoa FM. When I started working at Algoa FM, then they started bringing in paid campaigns for social media. And that was really awesome.
That's
I was
fine.
like, I'm here for this. You
Well-
want me to stand and just hold this product for you and you're going to pay me? I'm here for
Let's
that.
rock.
I'm here
Let's
for that
rock.
kind of energy. And if anyone wants to do that, I'm here for that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Was there a time where you got more money from the influencing stuff more than your monthly income at the station?
There was a moment like that at one stage.
stage.
Yeah. Then I was like, I could do this, but I'll never give up radio though. Never.
Because
But I
it's
could
the
do
platform,
this.
yes.
Yeah, I could do this. I could do this. I like the social media thing. I'm here for it. Yeah. I feel like social media, if it's done properly and you have the right connections and people are open to doing campaigns with you and they pay you really well, it can pay you more than an MC gig. It can. So, yeah.
It's actually fire. So in terms of, because Lakes wants us to ask you about the tattoos.
All my
Which one,
tattoos.
yeah.
You want to see all
Yeah.
my tats? I
Yeah.
do not know how many I have. Michaela, do you think I have like 30? Yeah.
30.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's fine. So is it true that once you do one, it's
Yeah, you
just
can't
a
stop,
rabbit hole?
friend. You can't stop. So these are little ones here. I feel like all my tattoos tell a story. There's a little microphone. I don't know if you can see it, a little microphone.
Yeah, out here.
And then there's a heart, there's stars. That's a bull for Taurus. I'm a Taurus. That's my star sign. Bow and arrow. And that's just, ancestral. I feel like it connects with me. And that's a little moon. And that's a rose because I feel like I'm a rose in a concrete world. That's butterflies. Butterflies for me is like freedom. And there's another butterfly here. This is a Viking sign, means to sort of make your own reality. So create your own reality and just make your life happen for yourself. But still I rise. No matter what happens, I always will rise. So that's why I put that there. And then I'm just checking. I think that's all of them there. This is a lotus and that's a lotus flower. And then the sacred Om sound. Yeah, it's somewhere there. And then some more flowers. That's a Hamsa hand in the middle. That's for protection. And that's a feather. Free spirit, sun, moon, flower, feather. And then I have a wolf, a lady and a wolf on this side. Beautiful, quite dainty. And like sort of the wolf coming out of, or the woman coming out of the wolf, or the wolf coming out of the woman. Either way, she's a fighter. She's just like, it's really beautiful. And then this side, very first tattoo on my rib is an H with a 2 on top, H squared, for my grandparents. So my granny passed away in 2010. And then I got this tattoo for her. Her name was Helen, and that is my second name. So, and my grandfather's name is Harry. So Harry and Helen. H squared.
That's H squared.
Yeah.
That's fire.
So there's an H with angel wings. So that's there. And then self-love is somewhere written here, and power is somewhere written at the back. I think that's... Oh, and then I have lips somewhere, yeah, like a little lips. Yeah, there's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
No, that's quite a lot.
You may ask a question.
I see you've got moons on both arms.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you've also got a dream catcher.
Yes.
And you also went over the Taurus.
Yes.
Astronomically.
Yes.
I see that you are very much well aware, and I also take that you are also religious. But
Yes,
then
and spiritual,
I see that
yes.
spiritual. But then I see that on the astronomical side, you've got quite a lot of. Where does that come from? Is it something that you've always believed in, or is it something
Yeah.
that you picked along the way?
I think it's something that I've always believed in. Look, I'm a Christian, and that's my religion, but I'm also a very spiritual person, very, very open, and I love the Hare Krishna movement as well. I take a lot out of that. You need to do some research on that. It's a movement. It's about becoming a better Christian, a better
What
this,
is
a
it
better
called
that.
again?
The Hare Krishna movement.
Okay.
It's really beautiful. I actually did a documentary, my very first documentary on the Hare Krishna movement at university, because I did videography as one of my majors. So you have to go out and make a documentary or a movie. And I made a documentary out of the Hare Krishna
After the Hare,
movement.
yeah.
So that was really awesome. But I believe in your, you have to have a deep connection, like spiritual connection with whatever you believe in, and be spiritual about it. But I also have a belief in astrology, and some people don't, but I look at it sometimes and I'm like, oh, okay, that's definitely me. That's how I am. And I don't let it take over my life, but yeah, I do read it and I do get into it. So yeah, there's always a lot of moons and things on me, and I have dream catchers and everything. So yeah, I'm very open, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I was about to ask the thing. I'm like, Roch, were you a chakrahan at some point in your life?
I was a
like,
what?
Chakrahan.
Oh, yeah, okay, maybe. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always say to Michaela, my cousin, she's also my assistant. So yes, that's keep it in the family. Always keep it in the family.
Keep
But
it
I
in the
always
blood.
tell Michaela, I feel like my chakras are not aligned right now. They're
No,
not
you
aligned
definitely are
right
a
now.
chakrahan,
I need to make sure this works out. And then she'll be like, yes, same here. So yeah, you just make sure your chakras are aligned.
It's an interesting thing that you speak about a Hare Krishna, because I was also quite inquisitive at some point in my life, that I found myself in a very weird situation. So there was a church, because I was doing research at home. I was looking for like a Reiki to open up my chakras.
Oh, that's
I was
awesome.
also looking out to, I was starting to get into this Christ consciousness thing. At the time, I was like, okay, this concept is very nice. So I found a church, which is, I didn't know it was the Church of Scientology in Walmart.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, I speak to my dad. I'm like, okay, because Walmart is quite crazy for you to
Okay.
travel with the taxi. So I was like, my dad, can you please drop me there? I go there, my dad drops me off. I walk in there. It's the church that had wine, and then they had like a bookshelf, just like the shelf we have. But there was a lot of like science fiction-esque books.
Oh,
And some of them
wow.
were like about Christ.
How did it make you
consciousness.
feel?
Hey, I was like, no, I'm not sure if I should be here. And people were like walking bare feet. We walked in there, and I was at the back. And also, just to point out, I was like, there were like two brown or black guys. I was like, okay, cool. We stood at the back. The church commenced. I was like, okay, cool. I think my inquisitiveness is gonna get me into a bit of trouble. I went there for once because, of course, I was inquisitive. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I just
But
like
it's-
the
it's
concept,
okay.
but I
It's
I went
okay
there.
to do that. It's okay just to learn
Experience
more.
and learn more. about your
Explore,
life.
experience, research. There's nothing wrong in researching
Hmm.
and just finding out a little bit more about everyone.
everything,
And
yeah.
I think that is so important, because then you learn to respect each other,
Hmm.
and different types of people, because then you've learned a little bit about them. Then you're like, okay, that person believes in this. Okay, I understand it. Don't have to, shove anything down their throats with what you believe, because you respect
You
their
respect
beliefs.
what they believe in, yes.
And I feel like that's important for everyone. Just respect each other, and this world will have more peace.
Peace, love, and happiness, guys. That's what we're fighting for out here. Before we let you go, I need to ask because of course you came here. Was it awkward? Is it always awkward for you getting interviewed?
Yes. I'll be honest, yes. Because I do the interviewing.
You normally
I
the
be like-
person.
Okay. And I'm like, what about me is interesting for you? That's
Yeah.
cool, I guess. So yeah, no, it is always weird. It's always weird,
Yeah.
but it's okay. You made it really lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Now, I'm curious. You've interviewed quite a lot of people. Mm-hmm. First, favorite interview ever.
Okay. Favorite interview? Craig David.
Ooh, that's
Craig
fire.
David. Craig
That's
David.
fire.
Favorite interview, Craig David.
That's fire.
He was just so awesome, so chilled, and I really enjoyed interviewing him. Rita Ora, loved interviewing her. With that,
Oh, we doing big business out here.
Yeah, that was really
Rita
awesome.
Ora, yeah.
and so with Craig David, it was like a Zoom call, which was quite cool, so we could see each other. Rita Ora was on the phone. I would have loved to actually see her because she's amazing. And then those are just a few of my internationals. There's quite a other like couple of international artists, but local, it's difficult because you interview so many different people and they all just bring awesome energy. Like all of them were great, but I think the one that stood out for me was Craig David. Because that's a childhood
That's what I was
thing,
gonna ask. It
like
fulfills your R&B
it fills
childhood.
yes, because I listened to his very first album over and over as a young child, as a person, a millennial that I am. I listened to his album and then getting a chance to interview him and actually see him on screen and then chat to him and have a full-on conversation and him saying, "Hey, can I call you Roch or Roch-Lé?" I'm like, Craig David, you can call me whatever you want to call me, bro. It's really
Craig
okay.
David, yeah.
So yeah, that was my favorite interview.
That's fire. But I feel like you really hit the PR route with that one because they far so you can pick from the international with the locals. You're like, I want to rub people off the wrong way.
No,
So I'll give you just a couple of seconds to think about it. 5 seconds.
With locals.
Or maybe the one that you can remember that you feel like I really enjoyed that interview.
Do you know, I think that's the most challenging question because I interviewed so many people. So I don't know. I can't really say because they were all really, really awesome.
Really awesome.
Because everyone just brings something different. So yeah, it's difficult to say. All of them.
And in terms of interviewing, what are the key things that you sort of like prep yourself into going into?
You always have to do research about this person and not ask them the same questions that other people would ask them. Try and get away from asking those types of questions. Get to know them on a different level. Connect with them differently. Check out their social media, what they're interested in. You go, oh, this person actually likes sharing this TV show. They love watching this TV show. And then you try and bring that into the conversation somehow. Or you see maybe that artist just had a baby. Like, hey, how does it feel being a dad? Like this dad that plays guitar in between. And then you just see how they light up and go, oh, wow, I'm a dad? Well, anyway, about my kid, let me tell you about my kid, So it's about finding something different about that artist or that person that no one else will look at. Do research. Check their social media out. See what they're interested in.
That's
And
fire.
then you'll get it. You'll connect with them.
Roch, you currently we must keep rolling, right? Okay, we're about to
Okay.
wrap up. Yeah. So you in 9 to 12 Algoa, which is Monday to Fridays.
Yes.
What is the name of the show called again?
Mid-morning show.
Mid-morning show. And what else are you getting up to? What's next for Roch?
What's next for Roch? Right now, I am just focused on studies. I'm just focused on my master's right now. And I feel like once I've done that, then I can start exploring other avenues. But for now, I want to put my all into writing my dissertation. And once that is done, then I'm good to go.
Good to
and then
go.
I'm ready to just take on the next step. But right now it's all about the dissertation and my radio show that I'm just putting a lot of energy in. So the gigs will come, yes, in between, and all the other different things, they will come in between. But I feel like right now I just want to focus on that. And I think that's, like I said earlier, 2020 fix, trying to find the balance so that I don't do 1,000 things at once, and just focus on the right things right now. Just focus on
Just
the
focus
right.
on the right things.
Yeah.
That's
Take it
fine.
one step at a time, in the wise words of Jordan Sparks.
I
Remember that song? That was a good song.
You're revealing your age. You're revealing your
Hey,
age.
I'm a proud 33-year-old, okay? I'm turning 34 in April, and I'm really proud of it because I don't look it.
Guys, also, I'm trying to think of that song.
What do they do? Clock it,
Clock
clock it.
Speaking of Jordan Spark, there's a... I took a glove and then cut it. Do you guys remember the music video Chris Brown had with her?
No air.
No air. That thing used to be fire. I had my right hand
No
glove cut
air,
up.
air.
Yeah, no air. That was that. What a time, man. What a time.
Yeah.
Just one more last thing that I think I forgot. Lecturing, because when I was doing research,
Oh,
was
yes,
that
yes, I lectured.
yeah, you lectured at NMU,
Not at NMU. I lectured at Damlin.
Damlin.
Yes, I lectured at Damlin. It was media, I think tourism, marketing, a whole lot of other PR, different subjects. That was really awesome. I enjoyed lecturing. I love sharing my knowledge, and I feel like that's so important. If more media personalities and media people did that, we would have more people that are hungry for the media industry. It won't be... We're growing at all times, and we must learn to share information with each other, share knowledge, because we're all going through the same things. Doesn't matter what level you're at, we're all going through the same things in the media and entertainment industry. So share your knowledge, talk to each other, find an expert in this and this and that, and learn from each other. And don't not connect or support. Support, connect, and be there for each other, because this industry is not easy. It's cutthroat. A backstabbing. They will.
Better watch out for the backstabbers.
Yeah,
You
so
need to
be
walk
careful.
backwards.
Find your tribe. Find your people and stick with them for life. You'll be
That's
fine.
Roch, such an honor. We appreciate you showing
Thank you,
up to the dungeon.
guys.
Which is also thank you, Michaela, as well, for coordinating the whole thing and allowing me to nag you and say we need to do this thing. But anyways, I am BayTV. This is the Maverick Show. This is season 2, and we are wrapping up Roch-LéBloem. We out of here.
Thank you.
Coolio. That's
Awesome, guys. Well done.